yet against President Trump. More than 24 Republicans stormed the high security area on Capitol Hill today, where Democrats and Republicans were ready to question their next witness. Bracing for major extremes tonight, the wildfire dangers as we head into the evening, and the storm, and then the cold coming right behind it. As strong winds and extremely dry conditions lead utility companies to cut power to hundreds of thousands yet again. And the infrared video tonight showing the hot spots. The vigil just before we came on the air tonight for that missing 3-year-old girl, the prayers from around the nation. The police chief now saying tonight, I wish there was something more we could have done. The fraternity suspended tonight at Penn State. The high school senior discovered in cardiac arrest. He did not survive. The gruesome discovery tonight, the bodies of 39 people found in the back of this truck in the UK. And this evening, the young suspect now in custody. What we've learned. Here at home tonight, the deadly accident at a parking garage today, a car plunging to the ground. At least 2 people killed. 4 flight attendants for American Airlines under arrest tonight. What they're accused of doing while on the job. And the FDA now calling for a new warning tonight for breast implants, the new concern.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It's great to have you with us here on a very busy Wednesday night. And we begin tonight with the drama playing out on the Hill. The confrontation that came just one day after what may have been the most damaging testimony yet against President Trump. Tonight, even a leading Republican senator now saying the picture coming out is not a good one. And just today, the Pentagon official overseeing Ukraine policy, Laura Cooper, there arriving to testify, but was stopped before she could even start when several House Republicans showed up, stormed the room, and made their demands. ABC's Mary Bruce with the images tonight. Another day of drama on the Hill.
One day after the most explosive testimony yet, House Republicans tried to grind the impeachment inquiry to a halt.
We're going to go and see if we can get inside.
The president's allies on the Hill forcing their way into the secure room in the basement of the Capitol, where lawmakers of both parties were trying to question a top Pentagon official for Ukraine and Russia.
By golly, if they're going to do it in public. Don't hide it from the American people.
President Trump has been urging Republicans to get tougher. Many of the members protesting today met with him last night. Today's hearing delayed nearly 5 hours.
This is an effort to please the president, to try to shut down the process. It's a stunt.
It comes 24 hours after the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor, delivered stunning testimony. Taylor outlining what the president and his allies have been denying, a quid pro quo campaign. Describing in detail how Trump himself withheld nearly $400 million in foreign aid to pressure Ukraine to investigate his political rivals, including Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Taylor testified that withholding that aid put lives at risk, describing how on one trip to the Ukrainian border, quote, I could see the armed and hostile Russian-led forces. He says he knew more Ukrainians would undoubtedly die without the U.S. assistance.
Bill Taylor gave a devastating opening statement yesterday. They're freaked out. They're trying to stop this investigation.
Even some in the president's own party agree the testimony was potentially damaging. The number 2 Republican in the Senate, John Thune, saying the picture coming out based on the reporting we've seen is not a good one. But the president today attacked Taylor on Twitter, calling him a never-Trumper, adding it would be really great if the people within the Trump administration could stop hiring never-Trumpers. Taylor is a career diplomat who served as George W. Bush's ambassador to Ukraine. He returned there in May at the personal request of the president's own Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo.
The president is calling Bill Taylor a never-Trumper. Do you have any reason to believe that he has political motivations or to question his credibility?
No, I don't know anything about Bill Taylor that I can say negative.
Senator Lindsey Graham, Trump's top ally on the Hill, says the White House needs a better strategy to push back on this impeachment.
All right, so let's get to Mary Bruce. She's with us live on the Hill again tonight. And Mary, the White House attacking the diplomat who testified in the last 24 hours, Bill Taylor, after that damaging testimony. The White House saying that diplomats who have testified in the impeachment inquiry are radical, unelected bureaucrats, is what they said. But this diplomat, Bill Taylor, was brought on by President Trump's own Secretary of State and has served both Republican and Democratic presidents.
David, Taylor has served in administrations of both parties since 1985. He was George W. Bush's ambassador to the Ukraine, and President Trump's own Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, asked Taylor to return to Ukraine. Now, tonight, we've asked the State Department if Secretary Pompeo agrees with the president's attacks on Taylor, but David, they have not responded.
All right, no comment on that front, Mary. Thank you. The other major story, millions bracing for extremes tonight, the escalating fire danger in the West and the storm in the middle of the country, winter warnings and the cold then coming to the east. But first in California, the extremely critical fire danger there, this wildfire we reported on in Pacific Palisades. And look at this infrared video showing hotspots still glowing tonight. And this evening, Santa Ana winds are now roaring back. Utility companies could cut power to 500,000 customers yet again. We have the track, the heat, the cold, and ABC's Will Reeve from California tonight.
Tonight, with multiple fires breaking out in California this week, wide swaths of the state now facing critical fire danger.
Elevations above 1,000 feet, this is where our highest concern is with this fire danger, because this is where the winds will be fastest.
Last year, the deadliest and most destructive fire on record in California devastated the town of Paradise. The utility company PG&E was held responsible for the fire here from sparks from a transmission line like this dead one. Now they're cutting power to thousands of customers across the state, hoping to avoid more fires capable of doing this. Businesses in the town of Sonoma bracing for outages.
And basically was out of business for 4 days when they shut me down last time. So hopefully it's not going to hit us this time.
In Southern California, where the Palisades fire burned 45 acres this week, new infrared video shows it continuing to burn overnight, hotspots glowing white. This video shot from a car appears to show the fire when it was just starting. Officials now investigating the cause. And David, the wind is expected to pick up here in Northern California tonight. Officials concerned about gusts up to 50 miles per hour. It could be a long night, David. All right, Will Reeve with us tonight. Will, thank you. And as we said, along with the fire danger, the winter storm warnings, and the cold coming to the east, meteorologist Rob Marciano, of course, tracking it all for us. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. Multiple rounds of these winds coming. Unfortunately, the air now just starting to move across Northern California, and we've got a wide range of red flag warnings up. You see it across Northern California, high wind warnings now across Southern California, but as Will mentioned, tonight, tomorrow morning, that's the most dangerous part of NorCal. Tomorrow it switches to Southern California. We could see winds gusting over 60 miles an hour. Extreme fire weather conditions could rival what we saw less than 2 weeks ago. No picnic on Friday and a reinforcing shot on Saturday. All caused by this snowstorm in the Rockies. Denver, a slick commute for you with some snow. 5 to 10 inches in Colorado Springs, getting into the Texas Panhandle with a rain event likely early Friday morning. David?
Rob Marciano tonight. Thank you, Rob. And in Birmingham, Alabama tonight, the sad vigil just before we came on the air for the little girl, the 3-year-old they had been looking for, with prayers from across the nation. The body of Camille McKinney was found more than a week after she was kidnapped from a birthday party while she was playing outside. The police chief tonight there saying he wishes there was more they could have done. Here's ABC's Steve Osunsami now.
Authorities who searched for the missing child for more than a week say that the entire city of Birmingham tonight is in mourning.
Her remains were found inside of a dumpster, and they were recovered inside of a landfill.
3-year-old Camille McKinney was last seen alive in this video from a security camera, where she's seen playing with another child outside a birthday party Saturday, October 12th. Police say that this man who walks up to the children is a suspect. He walks the children away, and the 3-year-old, known to friends and family as Cupcake, is never seen again.
I really wish there was something more that we could have done.
This blue SUV, seen on surveillance video leaving the scene, led police to these 2 people. They were arrested on unrelated charges, and tonight the district attorney's office says they expect both will be charged with murder. Police underline that the 2 people they have in custody are of no connection or relation to the child's family. David?
Steve, thank you. We are learning more tonight after the mysterious death of a high school senior during a visit to an off-campus house at Penn State where it's believed members of a fraternity lived. Tonight, the university temporarily suspending that fraternity while they investigate what happened to this high school senior who was just visiting. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, Penn State suspending a fraternity following the death of a visiting high school senior at an off-campus house.
17-year-old male, unconscious for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. Breathing is very shallow.
By the time police arrived, 17-year-old John Schoenig was in full cardiac arrest. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Penn State says the house was allegedly occupied by Chi Phi fraternity members. Friends are now remembering Schoenig, an ice hockey player from Erie, Pennsylvania.
You could walk in the locker room and everyone just brightens up, smile on their faces, joking around. On the ice, always gave it his all.
Penn State has been under scrutiny after the hazing death of 19-year-old pledge Tim Piazza following a drunken fraternity party. Just this week, Piazza's parents were on Capitol Hill pushing Congress to support the End All Hazing Act. In Schoenig's case, there are no allegations of hazing or alcohol. The fraternity saying tonight it is saddened and that although this happened at a house not owned by the fraternity, they are cooperating with the investigation.
And Gia, we do know that they believe the student had cardiac arrest, but we're awaiting autopsy results tonight.
That's right, David, and it could take weeks to get those results back, but for now, this fraternity has lost all privileges. David.
All right, Gio, thank you. And we do have sad news to report tonight, a tragic end to that search for a missing West Point cadet. The body of 20-year-old Cade Coretta was found dead on campus 4 days after he failed to show up for a scheduled event. Officials narrowed their search to the vicinity of the military academy after finding there had been no cell phone or financial activity on his accounts. No official details on how he died tonight, but they did fear he might be a danger to himself. And overseas tonight, a gruesome discovery at an industrial park east of London, a tractor trailer with 39 bodies inside, one of them a teenager. The young driver is now under arrest tonight, and here's our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell.
Tonight, that horrific discovery in a cargo truck, abandoned just outside London. 39 bodies, at least one a teenager. Suspected migrants who'd come in search of a better life, instead dying in what appears to be a people smuggling operation. The truck registered in Bulgaria, crossing into Britain by ferry just after midnight, seen here on surveillance video. The gruesome cargo discovered by emergency services, called to the scene just 20 miles from London. A murder investigation now launched. Police not identifying suspects, but the truck driver. A 25-year-old man from Northern Ireland is reported to be in custody.
It's highly unlikely those dead are Europeans. Tragically, it's happened before, and then it was refugees desperate to escape war-torn countries like Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan. David?
Ian Pannell tonight. Thank you, Ian. And to Syria tonight, 24 hours after Vladimir Putin met with Turkey's President Erdogan and decided where they will go next in that region where U.S. troops pulled out. Tonight, President Trump is now declaring a big success in Syria. He said a permanent ceasefire, adding safety for the Kurds, and that ISIS fighters are under, quote, lock and key. But what his own defense secretary said. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
President Trump today declared victory in Syria, a situation widely seen as a foreign policy and humanitarian disaster caused by the president's abrupt decision to pull out U.S. troops.
This was an outcome created by us, the United States, and nobody else, no other nation. Very simple. And we're willing to take blame, and we're also willing to take credit.
But this latest agreement was brokered by Vladimir Putin, following a lengthy meeting with Turkish President Erdogan yesterday. And today, Russian military vehicles flying Russian flags could be seen patrolling the Syrian border. President Trump also said the commander of the Kurdish forces abandoned by the U.S. called him to thank him.
We've saved the lives of many, many Kurds.
But today, Syrian opposition and Turkish flags were displayed at what was just 2 weeks ago the Kurdish headquarters in northern Syria, as the Kurdish army and thousands of Kurdish civilians were forced to flee following Turkey's invasion. President Trump announced sanctions imposed on Turkey last week will now be lifted, and he praised Turkey's president.
President Erdogan of Turkey, a man I've gotten to know very well, and a man who loves his country. And in his mind, he's doing the right thing for his country.
But President Trump's own Secretary of Defense said the reports of atrocities committed by Turkish-backed militias may be war crimes.
And if accurate, and I assume that they are accurate, they would be war crimes, as best as I know the law of land warfare.
All right, John Karl with us live at the White House again tonight as well. And John, the president today talking about those imprisoned ISIS fighters who had been guarded by the Kurds. The prisoners we reported on, of course, just a couple of weeks back when we reported from Iraq and the Syrian border. John, the president saying today a few that got out, a relatively small number in his words, that they've been recaptured, but today his envoy to Syria apparently saying something very different, John?
The president's envoy to Syria, this is Ambassador Jim Jeffrey, painted a much different picture when he spoke to Congress, testified before Congress today. He said that more than 100 ISIS fighters have gone missing, and David, quote, "We do not know where they are."
John Karl tonight. Thank you.